What up there, cyber friends? Mitty Man coming back at you again with yet another word for today. From Walker's Music, we just wanted to say, give a big shout out to our buddy JT in Dallas, Texas. Also my little baby brother Justus in Frankfurt, Germany. Brother PP Drawings, Minister Elder Michael McCray, Brother A.G. Praise, all ministers of music and ministers of the gospel as well. I must admit that I was going to do a segment on music production, and I need to do that, and I will do it a little bit later. However, my mind carried me to this another direction, and I want to mention something, people, just a little bit on the subject here about praise. And I got all these PCs here. Matter of fact, I need to turn on this laptop back here. But I wanted to say something about praise and worship, and I may have to pause the video for a moment because my other half is out, and I may have to go up to the front here in a minute. But I wanted to just mention about the praise and about worship. Now, Brother Hottencliff, I want to take my hat off to him as well, because he's the one that I heard him speak on this thing about, the people, the church bringing the economy into it. The reason why they want to cut, the first person pay they want to cut will the musicians pay. I feel you on that, brother. I feel you on that. I've seen it many times, even before the recession or whatnot. But at any rate, what I want to speak on is the element of praise, worship. Now, when Jesus, oh my goodness, I got a problem with my laptop, people. But at any rate, when Jesus talked to the woman at the well, and you would have thought that their main conversation would have been about adultery, perhaps in fornication. But it wasn't. It was all about praise and worship. The whole conversation was dominated with praise and worship. Jesus told her, every time he did make mention, he said, go get your husband, which he made mention of that, but they didn't linger on that. But it was mostly about praise and worship. So what was the, let me go and sign in here. What Jesus said, he just kept telling the woman, they were saying, she said, you Jews, y'all say Jerusalem is the place where we should worship. And our fathers said that this mountain was what we should worship, and blah, blah, blah. Jesus said, woman, I tell you, the time will come and is already here, that you will not no longer worship God in Jerusalem or this mountain, but true worshipers will worship God in spirit and in truth. That said a lot, people. That's saying a lot. Now let's grab. This is our master talking now. Let's grasp what he's saying. God is spirit, and therefore those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Now, so we get this here word. You hear people all the time, I'm going to worship the Lord today. You hear that every Sunday, I'm going to worship the Lord. Praise the Lord. You hear that all the time. Well, folks, let's slow up a little bit now. Let's slow up. Because sometimes we use those two words interchangeably. My praise, when you give something praise, you're giving them adoration and the accolades. You're giving them the utmost highest regard. In this case, when we praising God, we giving God the glory. We magnifying his name. We lifting him up because he is worthy. Well, also, that's the same thing which worship come from. Worship being worthy of your praise. So you see, now we got to get this thing, in order. Now, my praise to God, whether I lift up hands or where I just give him all the glory, magnify him, and just give him all the accolades, and just give him all the glory, that my praise is to him. But that's not necessarily my worship, people. My worship includes my praise. My worship is my everyday stance with God. My worship is my obeying his will and walking and living the way he wants me to live by what? Studying of his word, doing what he say on a day-by-day basis. And then praise is part of that worship. I hope I'm making it clear now. Do you see what I'm saying? My worship of God don't only happen on Sunday morning. In other words, my worship is not dependent upon whether I get in the presence of God. My worship is the vehicle that takes me into the presence of God. Yes, sir. See, you got to understand. See, it is not, you don't get into the presence of God before you can worship him. No. Worship is the vehicle that gets you into the presence of God. And your praises and thing invites the Holy Spirit to come in. Now that's the way that goes, people. That's I know I have been sitting right back here in this room by myself, just like now, nobody's here but me. Which I love that, because I have time to spend alone and I can talk to the Father like I want to. Which I can do that too, but it's just not the same. And I could be out of my studio. And I have gotten to the place where I just start calling the name of him. Just calling Jesus just because I can call it. I love to call on that name. And all of a sudden, I just get welled up. I feel like I'm on fire. And then sometimes tears just get to falling. Excuse me, people. Got to answer this phone. I'm going to pause it. Well, I'm back. I'm sorry about that, but due to call, that was the other half calling. And I forgot where I was, but I know we was deep into the discussion about the praise. You see, your praise and your worship is the vehicle that gets you into the presence of the Lord. It doesn't happen the other way around, people. So that is the distinct difference between your praise and your worship experience. Your praise is your accolade. You giving God all the glory because he is worthy. That's worship also, meaning he's worthy. But worship differs in a way from praise in the fact that your worship is your daily stance with your maker. It's your day. It's doing and living the way he wants you to live. And it doesn't just take place on a Sunday. Matter of fact, even praise shouldn't even take place just on a Sunday. Like I was just saying before I got interrupted, sometimes I could be in the studio by myself or in this house, and I could just get to thinking about how good God is, and I just get like I'm burning on a fire. Just get to burn, just get feel. You just feel like tears. You just can't keep them back. Why are you crying? I don't know. It's just when you're in the presence of God, there's peace. There's a peace that I can't even begin to explain it. But I know that there's a peace. Nothing matters when you're in the presence of God. Nothing matters. I don't care what was on your mind before. You forget it when you get in the presence of God. That's all that's about the best I can explain to people. So praise and worship is what Jesus was telling the woman at the well. He didn't speak about adultery. He didn't speak about that much. But he talked about praise and worship. That was the bulk of their conversation. So that lets me know, people, let's get our praise and our worship together. Let's make certain that we are praising God and worshiping him in spirit and in truth. What I mean by that, people, we can only look at the exterior. Jesus said, you know the tree by the fruit. Jesus said that. But what I'm saying, people, you know yourself better than anybody outside of God. And you know whether you are putting on or not. You know that. And what I'm saying is, if we are putting it on and trying as an outside show to the world to make man think that we are so good, and we're trying to make man think that we are so religious and all that, which I'm not religious at all, but you know what I'm talking about. We try to fool people to thinking that we are living something when we know we are not. That's what I'm talking about. Playing the hypocrite. People, all I'm saying, if we are doing that, including present company, we need to check ourselves and change. Let's serve God in spirit and truth. Let's get for real. That's that, Lord, you know I ain't been nothing and I'm still nothing without Jesus. And the only reason that I am something is because of what Jesus did. Just get for real, Lord. Let's get for real with the Lord. Let's get for real. Let's stop playing the hypocrite. In our churches on Sunday morning, lifting up holy hands, and then we get outside and won't speak to one another. Matter of fact, some are looking at each other in the church and roll out their eyes. We rolling eyes at people inside the sanctuary. Come on, people. That's not spirit and truth. And what I'm saying is we need to stop playing the hypocrite. And then, you know, I'm just going to put it all down. I'm just going to put it on the plate. People, we need to stop this here picking and choosing. Big you, little me. Big I, big, little, small you. We need to stop it and stop trying to look over people. What make us think that we better than anybody else? We got certain folk. Now, I'm not talking about you got to put up with a whole bunch of mess, because many men not going to put up with that either. But what I'm saying is, we got certain people. You know, even when it comes down to the internet, you got people that just think that they're supposed to do. Come on, people. Come on now. I mean, okay, take for instance some of your social networks. I'm quite sure y'all done seen it. You be online, and then you see some of your old contact come online. Well, if you busy, I can understand that. You busy right now. You can't, go ahead on and type them a message right quick and whatnot. But people, let me tell you something. It look like to me something is wrong with that picture. If I'm already online and you come on and we are contact, it look like to me you could send me a message sometime just as well as I can send you one. But we sat there and there wait and wait. You waiting on me to do all them text messaging. You come online and I'm already there. It's just like if I come to your house and I knock on your door. It's up to me to knock on your door to let you know that I'm at the door. But it's up to you to open the door to let me in, to welcome me in. You know, we just got a jacked up mentality. But the Bible, Jesus said, just as you will want others to do unto you, you must do likewise. Come on, people, just common courtesy. Let's stop all this crazy stuff. It's the little foxes that spoil the vine. Hey, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to, I heard the brother say on a video, and it was so true. If you don't want to do this thing, well, you just don't do it. In other words, Brother JT said, if you don't like his video, don't watch him. If you don't want to be his contact, take him off your list. This is the Admitted Man saying peace and goodbye.